Alright guys, so welcome back. As you all know, right on this channel is history dating back to time immemorial, and again we're still on the medieval civilization and Egyptian civilization to be precise. And in the last video I talked about the powerful pharaohs, how they were buried and everything. So going forward, the ancient Egyptians believed that their bodies must survive for life after death. They therefore had the bodies made into mummies. Mummies is a kind of burial technique in ancient Egypt. Like, mummies were preserved, dried, and wrapped in cloth. Egyptians hoped that they would help the spirit survive after death. Treasures were also put in other graves, but not on a large scale like the pharaohs. As long as you're an ancient Egyptian during this time and being ushered into afterlife, you must have something in your grave that will allow your easy and safe passage into afterlife, as the Egyptians believed. But it won't be in the much quantity as the pharaohs, but then you must have something which they believe will enhance the passage into afterlife. So just like the Egyptian believed that they will help the spirit survive after death, treasures were put in other graves. This explains why most Egyptian graves usually attracted grave robbers, because there are lots and lots of treasures and hidden artifacts right inside the tombs or the graves of ancient Egyptians and pharaohs. The Egyptian rich civilization attracted many invaders and was still able to survive for thousands of years. Like in 50 BC, Egyptian last pharaoh, Queen Cleopatra, committed suicide rather than surrender to the Roman conquerors. The Egyptians were noted for their leading role in ship construction, medicine, constructions of canals, irrigations, and lighthouses for ship navigation. The Egyptians began the first exploration of Africa. The buildings, the designs, the arts, the engineering, the geometry, to mention a few, was accredited to the ancient Egyptians as part of the world civilization, which had impact on the world till date. The influence of Egyptian architecture can be seen today in the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. The medical papyri taught physicians how to deal with both internal medicine and surgery, while there were several two books dedicated to pharmaceutical remedies, dental procedures, and veterinary medicine, all from the Egyptian civilization. The discussion on Egyptian civilization uh, sometimes back on the previous video I've made and told you that Egypt is perceived as the cradle of man's civilization, and I once again said that the seed of civilization were first sown along the banks of the river Nile in Egypt, which brought to the catchphrase of no Nile, no Egypt. Just like I said earlier, this mighty river which attracted people, animals, and plants to its banks, where they settled, and thus the beginning to witness the beginning of the Egyptian civilization. Discussion on hieroglyphics and the papyrus are also brought to the foreground, and just like I have told, that the Egyptians were the first to develop a complex system of writing called the hieroglyphs. And we also mentioned about the powerful pharaohs who were both religious and as well as government leaders, and the mode of burial and ushering of the dead into the afterlife, the mummification processes, and everything you can think of about the ancient Egyptian civilization, right from the wonders, remaining wonders of the seven wonders of the world, which is the pyramids and the Sphinx, and many other important things that point out to Egyptian civilization from then till this very moment till date. The Egyptian civilization is one of the key civilization in part of the world today that can't be sidelined, emanating from the discovery, not even discovery, but from the settlement at the bank of the mighty river Nile in Egypt. Just like the soil, the mud clay which people use, down to the kemet, the black stone, the hieroglyphs, the papyrus, the pharaohs, the gods, Anubis, Ra, Osiris, and name it. Like, Egyptian civilization is just one beautiful civilization that will make you wonder and marvel about the creation of man and the creation of civilization at large. So this will be all for the on the Egyptian civilization, and I'll be moving on to the next civilization. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Kind of like